order. City of Forest Park Council meeting number 1269, April 4, 2016. Let us stand for the pledge, please.
I pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The clerk call the roll, please.
Burns.
Here.
Collins. Here. Cottle.
Here.
Herbie.
Here.
Holt.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Southall.
Here.
Item number 2 on the agenda is the minutes. You all received copies of the minutes. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none. Presentation. We have one presentation, a proclamation for Autism Awareness Month. Is there anyone here to represent Autism Speaks, the Organization for Autism Awareness? Seeing no one, we do have a proclamation for them, and I would ask the clerk of council to make sure that they get this proclamation. And it is declaring that April is Autism Awareness Month. Item number 4 is communications from the public. This is a time for citizens to comment on matters of concern before council or to ask questions of concerns to them. When recognized, please come forward to the podium, give your name and address, and then state your comments or questions. Council meetings are tape recorded for ease of transcriptions. Comments are limited to 5 minutes. Is there anyone from the public who would like to address the council? Mr. Williams. Seeing no one, we'll move to item number 5, reports of standing committees. The first of those committees, Ways and Means Committee, Councilwoman Herbie.
I have no report.
Are there any questions for Councilwoman Herbie? Hearing none, Councilwoman Herbie, I have one item on the agenda for you for the work session on the 11th, post-insurance compliance procedures. Do you have any to add?
No, sir.
Next committee report is Community Development. Mr. Burns.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have no report on community development, but I would remind all council members that the third Thursday of this month, we do have our scheduled meeting with the school board. That meeting will be at the school board office. However, in light of the nearing end of the year, I will talk to the school board president and determine if they want to continue that meeting for this month and next. There's a lot of work going
And
on.
what time is the meeting on the third Thursday?
Typically at 6:30.
It'll be at 6:30. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions for Mr. Burns? Mr. Burns, I have no items on the agenda for you. Do you have any to add?
No, I do not.
Next.
Excuse me, Mayor. I know that we're supposed to meet with Dr. Holden on that day, too, to give her, she was going to give us her presentation. Did that get corrected?
I'm not aware of that presentation.
Would you look into that?
I'll look into it.
Thank
Please
you.
do.
Next committee report is the Law Committee, Councilwoman Collins.
I have no report.
Any questions for Councilwoman Collins? Hearing none, Councilwoman Collins, I have no items on the agenda for you for the work session. Do you have any to add?
No.
Next committee report is Human Resources Committee, Councilwoman Holt.
I do not have a report tonight, thank you.
Any questions for Councilwoman Holt? Hearing none, Councilwoman Holt, I have no items on the agenda for you. Do you have any to add?
No, thank you.
Next committee report is Public Improvement and Facilities, Councilman Southall.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I do not have a report tonight for public improvement and facilities. Thank you.
Any questions for Mr. Southall? Mr. Southall, I have one item on the agenda for you for the work session. That's tennis court bids. Do you have any to add?
No, I do not at this time, sir.
Thank you. Next agenda item is Public Safety Committee, Councilwoman Cottle.
Yes, my name is Councilwoman Cottle. And the first thing is I've met with the fire department, and we continue to work on the We Thrive program, and we are processing additional meetings coming up. I've been working with the police department regarding some complaints from residents, and the police department are working on that. And the third thing is we have a resolution that will be on new business C, and I will go over that with the Community Programming Board. Thank you.
Any questions for Councilwoman Cottle? Hearing none, Councilwoman Cottle, you have 2 items on the agenda for next week. One is the labor contract for the fire departments. The second one is firefighters turnout gear equipment. Do you have any to add?
Yes, are you talking about the fact that the police department and fire department all got new equipment through grants?
The item is listed as firefighters turnout gear.
Well, that's one of them, then the other is that they all got new vehicles. Thank you.
Next agenda item is intergovernmental relations and communication. That's my committee. I have no report. I would answer any questions if there are any. Hearing none, we go to item number 6, the mayor's report. There are no items on the agenda. I would just announce at this time that there will possibly be an executive session of the council at the next council meeting on the 18th.
April 18th?
The next council meeting is April 18th.
And what time will the executive session be, sir?
It will be on the agenda. Executive sessions are normally come at the end of the regular council meeting. There is no set time.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, the city manager's report, Mr. Hodges.
Thank you. I'll only report that the departmental reports have been completed, included in the council packet, and also made available to the public with the clerk of council there on file. And I'll also report that we are starting on our street improvements based on the bids that council recently accepted. That would be the end of my report, but I would respond to any questions if there are any.
Any question for the city manager? Hearing none, thank you, Mr. Hodges. Next item on the agenda, item number 8, other reports. The first of those being the law director, Mr. Wyckoff.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Since the last meeting, I've received from Mr. Nkuzi 3 complaints regarding board violations. Attempting to work through those to get those violations cleared. If necessary, we'd have to pursue administrative or litigation to enforce the building code. But other than that, I have nothing else to report unless there are any questions.
I have a question. The 3 violations are what, please?
I can't tell you. I mean, I just don't remember what they are. I know one had something to do with not getting a permit for some work in waterproofing a basement. And the other 2, a deck was built without inspection and approval and without permit. Most of these are usually, they don't get a permit and they go ahead and do the work.
Okay.
Which-
Would you please let our clerk of council know so that that can be in our minutes? Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Wyckoff?
That's all. Thank you.
Hearing nothing else, if there are no other questions, thank you, Mr. Wyckoff. Next item on the agenda is a report from Clerk of Council, Mrs. Huffman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to report that ordinance numbers 04, 06, and 07-2016, and resolution numbers 09-2016 through 11-2016 were posted as required. And that concludes my report.
Any questions for Clerk of Council? Hearing none, thank you, Mrs. Huffman. Next item on the agenda is item number 9. Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move to suspend the rules requiring the reading in full on 2 separate days and read for the second time by title only, ordinance number 05-2016.
It's been moved and second that we suspend the rules requiring the reading in full on 2 separate days and read for the second time by title only, ordinance number 05-2016. Is there a discussion? Councilwoman Herbie?
Just that this was posted as required, and also that this was read for the first time by title only on March 21st of this year.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on the motion?
Okay, that was Burns,
Yes.
Collins. Yes. Cottle,
Yes?
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
and Southall.
Yes.
Motion to suspend the rules passes 7-0. Item A, ordinance number 05-2016. Would the clerk please read this ordinance by title only?
Ordinance number 05-2016, an ordinance amending Chapter 150 Land Use to provide additional regulations for bars and restaurants.
Is there a motion? Mr. Barnes.
Yes, I move for passage of ordinance number 05-2016.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that we pass ordinance number 05-2016. Is there discussion? Mr. Barnes. Yes.
I would move to amend ordinance number 05-2016 by deleting item C2C under section 2. Clerk of Council, should I read all the deletion?
Yes.
Thank you. Delete the following. C, an establishment that does not meet either divisions A or B shall only be permitted as a special exception and also subject to the following required findings by the Planning Commission. Number 1, the restaurant must have a full professional kitchen that is proportionate to the area and seating of the restaurant. Number 2, the floor plan, including both permanent and movable fixtures, shall be characteristic of a restaurant rather than of a bar.
Is there a motion to the amendment? Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Barnes. Is there any discussion? Councilwoman Irby?
Yes, as we had discussed this in a couple of different work sessions, we were uncomfortable with this item C and felt that it still allowed too many loopholes for the kind of situations that we've seen develop in the city before. And so the consensus, I think, was trending towards a deletion of this. And I would urge adoption of the motion to amend.
Any further discussion?
Yes, when was it determined to add this piece of it to this particular ordinance?
I'm not following your question. Are you saying in the amendment or the overall section?
In the amendment.
That particular amendment was discussed probably 3 work sessions ago.
That may have
And-
been when I was absent, and thank you. Appreciate the input.
Okay. You're welcome.
Any further discussion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
I think it would also be good to note that the staff also concurred with this particular removal of this section due to the fact that it called for more consideration of personal judgment in the decision. So it was an opportunity to remove some level of discretion and inconsistency.
Vice Mayor Burns, can you communicate who the staff would be in this particular change?
That would be the Director of Community Development.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Hearing none, the clerk please call the roll on the motion to amend.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns.
Yes.
Motion to amend passes 7-0. This time we would vote on the amended motion.
We just did that. Oh, you mean the main motion is
Main
amended?
motion.
Okay, sorry.
Is there any discussion on the amended main motion? The clerk please call the roll on the amended motion.
His discussion.
You want discussion on the next?
Did you have, yeah. Let's do this, Mr. Burns will discuss the amended motion first.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. As was noted, this particular ordinance, number 5-2016, was the subject of a public hearing and reading for the first time on March 21st. This zoning amendment is designed to stop the proliferation of bars and nightclub activity in our neighborhoods and residential areas. The Planning Commission and staff concurred with the recommendation of zoning regulation that should be amended. Basically to say that if you sell unpackaged alcohol, then you would classify principally as a bar or nightclub, regardless of any food menu that is present. On the other hand, if a restaurant does not plan to sell alcohol, then these restrictions would not even apply to them because the issues involve places selling of unpackaged alcohol. And with that, I would urge the adoption of ordinance number 5-2016
As amended.
as amended.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on ordinance 5-2016?
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Ordinance 505-2016 passes 7-0. Item number 10, new business. Is there a motion? Mr. Burns.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would move to suspend the rules requiring the reading in full and read by title only. Resolutions number 12 and 13-2016. These resolutions were posted 6 days prior to the meeting.
Second.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we suspend the rules requiring the reading in full and read by title only resolutions number 12-2016 and 13-2016. Is there a discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on the motion to suspend the rules?
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle.
Yes.
Motion to suspend the rules passes 7-0. Next item under new business is Resolution 12-2016. The clerk please read this resolution by title only.
Resolution number 12-2016, accepting the bid of Ford Development Corporation for the Wright Farm Riparium Corridor Restoration.
Is there a motion, Mr. Southall?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I offer a motion that resolution number 12-2016 be received for adoption.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution number 12-2016. Is there any discussion, Mr. Southall?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. On this resolution, we're pleased to report that not only that we've received a grant to help pay for the stream bank restoration project, but we have received an excellent bids, and work is ready to get underway for after we have, if council have approved this particular resolution. We referred the project to Wright Farm Riparian Corridor Registration. In lay terms, this is a project that involves clearing out a lot of overgrown brushes and invasion plant growth like honeysuckle, and clearing out and reshaping the the creek channel so that water will flow unrestricted, and reestablishing the slopes for the stream bank that naturally erodes over time from rushing storm water cutting into them. So staff has done a similar work with Kemper Meadow and Cascade Park, for example. And with that, Mr. Mayor, I offer that the resolution be received, be adopted. I urge adoption for it.
Any further discussion on resolution 12-2016? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on resolution 12-2016?
Holt,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Herbie.
Yes.
Resolution 12-2016 passes 7-0. Next item under 10 is item B, resolution 13-2016. The clerk please read that resolution by title only.
Resolution number 13-2016, a resolution confirming appointments to the 2016 Hamilton County Tax Incentive Review Council from the City of Forest Park.
Is there a motion, Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, I would move adoption of resolution number 13-2016.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution 13-2016. Is there a discussion? Councilwoman Herbie?
Yes, annually, we have to make these appointments, and usually this is done, this is, the two people appointed are the Economic Development Director and also the EDC Council Liaison. And so I would recommend appointment of Councilmember Herbie and Economic Development Director Brim as our representatives to this Tax Incentive Review Committee.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, would the clerk please call the roll on Resolution 13-2016?
Johnson,
Yes.
Southall,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Collins,
Yes.
Cottle,
No.
Herbie,
Yes.
Holt.
Yes.
Resolution 13-2016 passes 6-1. Next item on the agenda is item C, a motion. There's a motion for reappointment to the,
And would that be Councilwoman Cottle?
when the motion, after you make, when you raise your hand to be recognized to make the motion, like everybody else.
Oh, certainly. I move to reappoint Mr. Stephen Cottle and Mrs. Sheila Cottle, and it's Stephen D. Cottle and Sheila J. Cottle from Forest Park, and to concur with the Village of Green Hills reappointment of Mr. Tom Bruckman, and to concur with the reappointment of Mr. Joe Orndorff as Board Chairman, all to the Community Programming Board, Regional Council of Governments, and the CPB Holdings Incorporated Board for the terms expiring 3/31/2019.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we pass a motion for reappointments to the Board, Community Programming Board, Regional Council of Governments, and the CPB Holding Inc. Board. Is there a discussion?
Yes, the CPB Board is currently made up of the following individuals: Wayne Coates, Jamie McCarter, Rhonda Hobbs, Stephen D. Cottle, Sheila J. Cottle from Forest Park, and Gay Radford, Jonathan Palmer, Nancy Moore, Tom Bruckman, and Melanie Hermes from Green Hills. Joe Orndorff holds the at-large chairman position. And please note that the trustees need to be appointed to both the Community Programming Board, Regional Council of Government, and the CPB Holdings Incorporated. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion, excuse me? You opposed?
Yeah.
The motion passes 6-1. Any further business to come before the body? Any further business to come before the body? Hearing none, meeting is adjourned.